news just for you. Start off with quite a number of happenings in the country. First off, in the Senate, which has threatened to block funding to counties whose governors failed to honor summons to appear before committees and account for public expenditure. Now, Senator Alexander Mundigi warned that the Senate Public Accounts Committee could invoke its legal mandate to halt revenue allocations as a last resort against non-compliance. Governors who ignore official summons risk being cited for contempt and facing legal consequences. The move is aimed at enhancing transparency and strengthening accountability in the management of public funds.
Governor yoyote ule atakosa kwenda kwa kamati yoyote, automatically mpaka atachukuliwa hatua kubwa na atapata shinda. Na hatua ya mwisho kama security itakosa kumshukuriwa, ikifika June, kaunti nyingi ile itakuwa imetii ile kamati ya park ya mambo ya audit, automatically haitapata pesa na itakuwa ni njia ya kumaliza zile county. Kwa hivyo ningeomba cabinet secretary wowote awe siku ya Jumatano akipata barua, akipata statement ama swali aende Wednesday. Na governor yoyote akiitwa ni kamati yoyote aweze kwenda waongee na watafute kitu inaitwa dialogue.
And a story related to the same, governors have escalated the standoff with the police, accusing the Inspector General of Police, IG, of colluding with senators in what they describe as a scheme to intimidate county chiefs. Speaking at the Council of Governors, COG headquarters in Nairobi, COG Chair and Wajir Governor Ahmed Abdullahi dismissed reports of a lawful arrest attempt on Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja, stating that no arrest warrant had been issued. The governors alleged that officers deployed to City Hall were acting on informal instructions rather than legal orders. They have now voted to boycott the Senate Public Accounts Committee until the senators they accuse of extortion step aside. The council is also urging the Senate Speaker to intervene and help resolve the impasse.
So until Ijikanja. By the way, I spoke to some of his people and I realized there was no warrant of arrest against Governor Sakaja. The only thing there was a letter from the clerk of Senate to the IG. You cannot arrest a governor on the basis of a letter from the Senate clerk. So we want to tell our policemen not to be misused. This is a political matter. It's a political standoff. When it goes legal, we'll play it in court. When it goes legal, we'll play it out in court. And the people will regret that it never reached that level. But for now, it's a political standoff. It requires a political solution. And that political solution can only come from the leadership of Council and the leadership of Senate.
And if it were possible for that committee to write to governors and say, we have invited you to come and speak, however, the following 4 senators will not be in the committee, we will appear. Because that is our problem. Because you cannot continue engaging people who engage you on a different level that is not lawful with impunity. It is not possible.
And to matters politics, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has been cautioned against orchestrating the selection of a 2027 presidential candidate through closed-door meetings. A section of parties within the coalition, led by the National Liberal Party and Augustus Muli, warned that the secrecy could breed mistrust and result in the endorsement of an unsuitable candidate. They are calling for a scientific and inclusive process to identify candidates to challenge President William Ruto, urging Kalonzo to convene an urgent meeting of all coalition parties to chart a transparent and democratic path forward.
If we want to come out victorious in 2027, we must engage in a scientific and selfless method to choose a flag bearer from among our parties, devoid of tribal and other biases. It's very unwise to do the same thing over and over again and expect different outcomes. The enemy we face next year in 2027 is not to be underestimated. That enemy knows our weaknesses. He knows how to play us against each other. We must change our tactics as a coalition party if we want to come out victorious in 2027.
And amid rising fuel costs and ongoing supply uncertainties, stakeholders are calling for a transition to solar energy as a sustainable solution to the fuel crisis. Experts warn that heavy reliance on fossil fuels has left economies exposed to global shocks, while solar power presents a reliable, affordable and clean alternative, particularly for sun-rich countries like Kenya. They emphasize that the increased investment and supportive government policies will be critical in accelerating adoption and securing a stable energy future.
And the advantage of electricity, we don't have to ship it from anywhere. You generate it from your roof. So you can power your car at home or in your office or in a shopping mall. So what we are doing by installing solar systems, we are creating an infrastructure that will power mobility, among other things. We are talking of data centers, we are talking of, which is crucial for communication, transmission of content. We are talking of farmers, water extraction, borehole use. We are talking of factories that are doing manufacturing. So power cuts across every aspect of our day-to-day lives. And when you are able to generate it and it's financed locally, it shields us from the global shocks.
Opposition leaders have condemned the government following the midnight demolition of Nairobi's Gikomba Market shoe section on the 31st of March this year. Led by Kalonzo Musyoka and Rigathi Gachagua, they termed the move inhumane, accusing the state of destroying livelihoods while disregarding court orders and riparian land concerns.
People affected, we will insist on compensation and whatever. I remember, in fact, when we last visited Gikomba, Wakili Njiru had obtained a court order stopping them from carrying out those demolitions.
Serikali ambayo imechaguliwa na wananchi, na serikali iliahidi wananchi kwamba hakutakuwa na upomoaji, kwamba imekuwa ni serikali ya kubiduka wananchi.
Moving on, away from that, Egerton University has broken ground for Center of Excellence in Regenerative Agriculture, established through a public-private partnership with Kilimo Trust. The first phase of the project is estimated to cost 40 million Kenyan shillings. Egerton Vice-Chancellor Professor Isaac Kibwage said the partnership aligns with national and continental priorities on sustainable food systems. He added that the center will drive agricultural transformation by researching, developing and sharing knowledge to enhance food security.
This milestone is built on a strong and enduring partnership between Egerton University and Kilimo Trust. The establishment of this center now takes this partnership to a next level. It will support capacity building for our students, strengthen our research and innovation ecosystem, and provide a platform for seed processing, commercialization, and knowledge transfer.
This investment demonstrates the confidence and shared commitments needed to scale impact across the region.
We have the university here, which is doing science. As you continue doing science, we would like you to produce documents that are going to change the thinking of the polity of this country and of East African and African nations. Because politicians or other policymakers will basically rely on evidence. And in the absence of evidence, they will make policies anyway, which are not guided.
And still on matters agriculture, farmers across Kenya are set to benefit from renewed access to subsidized fertilizer after the government received over 1 million bags imported from Morocco, ending weeks of shortages in national cereals and produce board and CPB depots. According to the Agriculture Principal Secretary, Paul Rono has assured that all NCPB depots will be fully stocked by Thursday to support the ongoing planting season. He warned that against misuse or diversion of the subsidized inputs, emphasizing that the fertilizer must reach its intended beneficiaries. Rono attributed previous delays to disruptions caused by the conflict in Iran, but reiterated the government's commitment to timely supply through strengthened contingency measures.
Fertilizers we have gotten today is for planting. We have enough top-pressing fertilizers. As I told you, we consume close to 12.5 million bags of fertilizers by year. When you translate to money, it's around 18 billion shillings we use every year to subsidize the fertilizers for our farmers. When you look at for the last three to 4 years now, we have used close to 60 billion shilling as government to support the farming sector. On the tea sector, we have a program to improve the old factories and make sure that they have the right technology, and we have put a budget of 3.5 billion.
Tuweze kupunguza pia bei ya mbegu ipitie pia kwa NCPB, ndivyo iweze kusambazwa na kuuzwa kwa bei nafuu ikilinganishwa na fertilizer, kwa sababu tunajua ni kiwango gani hektari moja ama ekari moja ya fertilizer inahitajika, na pia ni kiwango gani ekari moja ya mbegu inahitajika.
And it is budgeted in our supplementary budget that there should be subsidy by Kenya Seed for the issues of seeds. But the management of Kenya Seed, what they are doing what we call delaying by procedure. I don't know where they live, because as they know very well, farmers need the seeds. So we want to urge them, let them stop the monkey business they are doing in that board. Either they shape up or they ship out.
To sports news now, and Kenya has secured its place as a co-host of the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations after paying a hosting fee of, get this, 3.9 billion Kenyan shillings to the Confederation of African Football. Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Vuria confirmed that the country has met all requirements, paving the way for the tournament to be jointly staged with Uganda and Tanzania. He added that a multi-agency local organizing committee has been formed to oversee preparations, bringing together key stakeholders from both the public and private sectors.
Now pleased to announce that the government of Kenya has now fully met the financial obligation to CAF. We have been able now to pay the 3.9 billion required for the hosting fee, and now we embark on other aspects of the preparation. I also want to announce that we've already reconstituted the local organizing committee, and in the coming days we'll be able to launch so that they can begin to prepare for the Africa Cup of Nations. I'm also aware that there was an assessment by CAF on our stadium, and we are also working to ensure that we have compliance in the area of infrastructure. I also want to take this opportunity to thank all Kenyans, the National Treasury and Parliament for working together to ensure that we've been able to meet the financial obligation.
And Denise Undav scored a late winner as Germany edged Ghana 2-1 in an international friendly in Stuttgart. The victory marks back-to-back wins for Germany following their 4-3 triumph over Switzerland. Meanwhile, Ghana has parted ways with head coach Otto Addo just 72 days before the World Cup, following recent poor results, including a heavy loss to Austria.
In Switzerland on Friday, close again this time as he sees his efforts come off the outside of the post. Then 31st minute and Germany really piling on the pressure. Jonathan Tah getting close to scoring in back-to-back games, having scored his first ever international goal just a few days ago. Fantastic save though by Jonas Ajete with the handball after Angelo Stiller's shot on goal penalty awarded, and Kai Havertz there to slot the ball into the bottom right corner. His first goal since November of 2024 in the Nations League. Germany, the chance for the big man up front, this time denied by the woodwork. Very nearly a second for Germany. 20 minutes still to go. Very little from Ghana so far until the 70th minute. And what a fine equaliser it was as well. Derek Kerr.
Thank you very much for your valued company. Stick around for more news and more detailed news at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m., including Ukumbi wa Siasa. Good afternoon.